Hey guys, just got back from work. Let's keep this video between 5 minutes talking about your habits. So, to not waste any more of your time, let's get into it. I have written some things down this time just so I can keep a track of how to keep things just more organized whenever I speak them. Because I noticed that my thoughts are thinking a lot, and I'm thinking a lot in my thoughts. Wait, I don't think that makes sense. I'm just thinking a lot of things, and I tend to tap into them a lot and then not have organization. So I wrote some things down just to keep me sequenced into what I have to say. So, first thing, learning how your habits create who you are and how they lead you to the life that you want or don't. So, we have to understand that habits are loops. Why are they loops? They're loops because you do them so many times by either a short period or a long period, right? Short period could be 6 months or less, long period could be 6 months or more. And it compounds over time if you don't, and it compounds over time, and it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. A good example of a habit could be, let's say, when you finish working out, you immediately go to the shower, right? Like, that's a good habit. A bad habit would be once you immediately finish working out, you don't stretch. And thus, that causes you to be tight, that causes you to not let your muscles really relax, etc. So that's a simple way of putting it. But in terms of becoming the person that you want to be, if you're creating habits that are numbing your routines and are I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it from so far, but you need to start calling out numbing routines that create a version of you that you'd hate to become. Meaning, if you're laying in bed all day, if you're scrolling on your phone, if you're sitting all day, if you're playing video games, if you're consuming television in terms of cable or streaming services, you're relapsing to become the person that you are now. And if you're watching this video, the person that you are now is not the person that you want to be. So you need to have an identity shift. You need to change it from I want to be to I am. And in order to do this, you need to write it down, right? We see this consensus on how journaling works and how successful people do it in many aspects. It doesn't even have to be about money. It could be success in self-mastery, so success in even from learning, even from accomplishing a goal that they would love to master. So the reason why it works is because you're seeing it, you're visualizing it. As a matter of fact, when you're writing it down, you say it to yourself probably a couple of times to make sure you spell it right. So subconsciously it digs into your brain, and when you journal or just write it down on a piece of paper, you write down who you want to become. Okay? That's the only time where you're gonna realize the person that you want to become, instead of just waking up and saying, I want to do this, I want to do that. Because wanting is one thing and then doing is another thing, right? The difference between that is choosing whether you want to suffer for it. Choosing whether you want to suffer to become the person that you want to be and create the life that you enjoy. So, write down the things that the person that you want to become does, in terms of, if you want to be fit, okay, write down, I'm going to the gym tomorrow at 6 in the morning. If you are lost in your life and you're not sure who you are and who you want to be, write down what habits you're doing now and then audit them. You know what? Do a checklist. See if each one is leading you towards that person that you want to be, or if it's pulling you back from that person that you want to be. So having this audit on yourself is really helpful, because catching these habits is breaking you out of the loop and creating good loops. Because if you do something over and over again, but it's beneficial to you, it's amazing. Keep on doing it, right? You'd rather be stuck in a loop that provides you benefit than being stuck in a loop that breaks you. Make something that has value to your life. And this video might be pushing it 5 minutes, so maybe we'll keep it at 10 minutes. for this video and probably like future videos, because 5 minutes I think is a little too little. But also understand your future, it's not hidden, right? You don't go and find your future. It's in your calendar. It's what you do day to day, hour by hour, minute by minute. If, let's say you're coming home from school or you're coming home from work and it's a place that you dread to be every single day, what are you doing when you have alone time? Are you building habits that create that better version of you, that lead you towards a life of enjoyment? Because your habits end up compounding, and they compound into routines, and your routine is something that you do for decades, right? It's just something that's just born out of you at that point because you created that version of you. And your routines later then lead to your lifestyle and the type of life that you're going to live. So having that identity shift and seeing the direction that you have to do and having the discipline to really be like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to keep being the person that I hate to become, and I want to take action. I want to go through the suffering of becoming him or becoming her and just going all in. Because in order for you to break your bad habits, you really need to resist that itching urge that you get from relapsing. Because this is something that I've experienced when I was in school and I was getting home from school and then I immediately play video games. It's like in the end, I was comforting myself into escapism, and that's a rabbit hole you don't want to fall into, because one form of escapism can lead to many, and the further down you go in the rabbit hole, the worse it becomes in you in many ways. It could be mentally, physically, or spiritually, meaning you feel like you don't have any self-worth anymore and you don't want to lead yourself towards there. You want to catch these loops. You want to replace them with ones that create that person of, I am this and I'm proud to say this. So me playing video games after school didn't really allow me to think at all what I wanted to do with my life. And it's a thing we overlook as kids if you do play video games, if you did, and you immediately got to college, and then you did that too in college, and now you're just like, that's it. Like, you're already starting life and you're like, whoa, I didn't have time to think of what I actually wanted to do or who I am, and now I'm just stuck in a position that I dread to do for many years to come. And this is where you need to replace that habit into first writing down what the person that you would love to become does, and then the life that you find fulfillment in. And you have to align these two, right? Because if the life that you find enjoyment in is right here and the person you are is right here, they're not gonna align. They're too far apart. You want them to be right here and then get this close to them, right? So I don't want to keep this video too long, but if you guys would like a more personalized guide, if you guys want to work one-on-one with me and have more in-depth details, that was a loud car outside. If you guys want more in-depth details on how I can help you personally, depending on your situation, I would love to help you, because it's something that I wish I had when I was comforting to escapism and not allowing myself to realize who I was, what I wanted to become, what I needed to do, and what life actually provided me enjoyment, right? Not enjoyment to others, because at the end of the day, this is your life. And remember, love yourself and get after everything your inner child dreamed of. Happy Tuesday, guys. Take care.